morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Small Biz Friday.
Yeah.
And what an awesome week. What a great place to end up on Friday. I kind of like being
absolutely.
here. Not to pull a Mr. Rogers. I am a Mr. Rogers. But not to pull a Mr. Rogers, but I'm really happy to be hanging out with you guys on Friday.
That's right. I'm glad it's October.
It's October. So
Great month.
There's heavy debate in the office already this morning about whether or not it's technically fall.
Yeah.
But
I think it feels like fall. Jeff does not think that it feels like fall. So if you think that it feels like fall, go ahead and let us know in the comments. To me, fall is when the skies start to change color and they get really pretty, and it's a little bit dark when I'm walking my kid to the bus. That's fall to me in South Texas.
To me, 90 degrees is still freaking hot. So, like I want to wear a hat and a coat and all of these things, all these parts of my personality that people don't know about. You know what I mean? Like all the silly things that I love to do.
I do like to break out my boots. Maybe next Friday I'll break out my fancy boots. I have boots with like sparkles on them.
And nice.
Yeah.
Hey, so stay tuned. We'll make sure and pan toward the boots.
The boots
next
with the
week.
sparkles. Yeah.
But we have all these like secret things.
Right. Secret skills.
Well, yeah, that too, right? So in the winter we're a different person.
Right.
We're not a different person, but we look like a different person. And all of the rest of the year, that stuff is really real.
Right.
And so today we're talking about secret things. We're talking about secret skills.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that you know that you don't know you know.
Yes.
The stuff you're good at. The
Yeah.
stuff that you've been practicing forever without knowing.
For your whole life. Yeah, and this kind of spun off of a conversation we had after last week because it's October, and Jeff and I are both doing this challenge called Inktober. And it's basically where you draw something every day for the entire month of October. And it's been a really long time since I took an art class or since I had a daily drawing habit. And I've been really happy with this challenge, and I've been really excited about it. And I didn't want to brag or anything, but I was like, Jeff, I'm kind of better at this than I thought I was going to be. And he was like, well, you've been practicing your whole life. And I was like, well, I haven't really drawn by hand in the past 10 years. But the thing is the things that I have been doing, just holding things, hand-eye coordination, using my computer mouse, all the things that I've been doing are still building my drawing skills.
The very first drawing I ever made successfully in my life. Well, first off, we're not talking specifically about drawing. We'll get to the rest of that. But the very first drawing I ever made successfully in my life, I made a lot of unsuccessful drawings. I don't count anything pre like 12. That was, those were all incredibly successful and totally fridge-worthy. But as an adult, the first fridge-worthy drawing that I ever made, I was dead convinced I had no idea how to draw.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine said, well, how do I ride a motorcycle? And so I said, well, there's the clutch, and let me back up. I've been riding a motorcycle since I was 7 years old. I don't recommend it, but it's what happened. So I started explaining it to him, and he's a visual person. So I was like, well, this is where you're sitting. Okay, and these are the handlebars, and I drew the seat, and I drew the handlebars, and then I said, and there's a clutch over here, and then over here, this is where the pedals are, and then in the back, this is where this is, and the wheels, and I started drawing this thing, and I looked down, and I had drawn a perfect reproduction of a top-down view of a motorcycle.
That's awesome.
Not because I knew how to draw, but because I knew how to ride a motorcycle.
Right.
So, secret skills are a real thing.
Right.
They're real and tangible, and you have them too, because drawing and riding a motorcycle seem completely unrelated, but A led to B.
That's absolutely right. So we've got 4 steps or tips for harnessing your secret skills. And the first step or tip for harnessing those secret skills is just to acknowledge that you have them. You've got things in your life that you're very, very good at because you've been living for however many years that you've been. I'm almost at the 33 mark. I'll go ahead and let y'all know.
I'm no longer at the 33 mark. I'm at the point where people think my first name is Mr.
But 33 years, which is not a lot for some people, but it's a significant amount of time. And these skills that I've been growing have started, for a long time. Talking in front of a camera, talking in front of people. I started that, I think, at the age of 7 was the first time I was in a talent show. That was fun. I got 3rd place.
Nice.
Can you believe it?
I can believe it. Very talented. talk to them about marketing? Because I'm sure you killed it.
I sung a song in a big fancy dress.
Well, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, so and I was in speech classes, and I was on a speech team, I was on a debate team, things like that. So, the first time we did a Facebook Live, I had never done a Facebook Live before, but I've been speaking this whole time.
You had something to compare it to.
Yeah.
And something that may seem unrelated. Well, I can't go on, I've never been in front of a camera before. A lot of folks get hung up on that. But in reality, you had been in front of people, or you had been doing a thing. That's a specific one that comes up all the time. I hear folks say, well, I'm just not good in front of people. I promise you're good in front of people. I promise you have told a story about something that happened to you that day to a person. Mm-hmm. And so you have that skill, you just haven't connected it yet.
Yep, absolutely.
So I started in a different career. I was in horticulture for a long time, but I also grew up on a farm, right? So they, it's a very different world, mm-hmm. right? And so just to tell like a quick story, we called it something different when I was young. We had an actual word for it, and we called it old man strength.
Woo!
And
old man strength. I have that.
It's not exactly PC, but it's what really happened. It's what we really called it. And so what would happen is you would be out there working, throwing bales or post hole digging, and you'd be really, really fighting with it and having a lot of trouble. And, me. And some old guy would come up and he'd just grab it and huck it like it was nothing. 70, 80 years old, like it was nothing. I was like, what are you talking about? That's the guy that just stands around and gives people orders for a living. But he had been practicing all these subtle things his entire life. There's no way that guy in an arm wrestling match could take a 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid who worked on a farm. There's no way. But he understood it in a different way. He understood how to move that bale in a different way.
He knew how to specifically throw a bale of hay.
Right. And it was because of all the subtle skills, because he'd been using his body in certain ways for a long period of time, or because he'd been applying his mind in certain ways for a long period of time. And so,
or because he actually hucked a bale of hay so many times before that he could do it.
Also probably true. Yeah. Right. So that he knew exactly how to do it. That had nothing to do with his innate ability.
Right.
It had nothing to do with his immediate practical knowledge. Something maybe he did 20 years prior.
Right.
Right. But it was little skills that had been building over a long period of time that just stuck with him.
Kind of like the idea of saying it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You rode a bike when you were 12. You haven't ridden a bike in the last 10 years, but if you got on a bike, you could probably ride it.
And the little subtle parts of that
mm-hmm.
That are similar, like steering or
mm-hmm.
like pedaling, or even just keeping your balance.
Right.
Okay, you learned how to ride a bike. You probably can walk on a balance beam because you understand the concept.
Right.
You may not be an expert at it the first day, but you understand the concept.
Right.
And you have the skill of walking on a tightrope. You have the skill of walking on a tightrope. You just haven't connected it yet, and you haven't practiced that aspect of it.
Wow, that's a really good point.
So the subtle skills, the skills that you have that you got before. You had a great example of parenting.
Oh, yes. Well, I think it's interesting that when people take time off from work to parent their kids, we think, oh, they're not working for a certain period of time. And as a parent, I can tell you that that's definitely not true. That I took a little break from the corporate world or the 9-to-5 world to raise my kids, and let me tell you, I worked a lot during those times. You're not just sleeping; you're practicing those skills, and they're skills that I gained being a full-time parent that I don't know if I would have gained them anywhere else, or I definitely practice skills that come in handy every day, I feel like.
Like project management.
Oh, yeah.
Process development. Multitasking.
Not crying over spilled milk,
Yeah, being able to take criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who screams at you all day long.
Toddlers are demanding.
Yeah, they are.
So just being flexible. One thing that I'm very, very good at is figuring out how to make it work in the moment. And I can tell you that would be because I had 3 children under 3.
Yeah.
I can figure anything out in the moment.
You have to.
We can make it work.
Right. And when you get into the corporate world, we call that being able to pivot.
Yeah.
Right. But at home, it's just
survival.
Survival, yeah. And those are all skills that just have a different word, and you may not know the word for it, but it probably applies. So recognize that no matter what you've done, you have a skill set that you're not accessing. Even raising kids, which I shouldn't say even, like that's the first 2 months of raising my son was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
This is way easier. He had colic, so you have skills that you just haven't applied
right.
To the current circumstances. You haven't applied them to whatever it is you're trying to do or be.
Right. So the first thing is acknowledge that you have skills. You've been growing them your whole life with whatever you've been doing, whether it's being a parent or going to high school or playing football or whatever it is. You've been gaining certain skills. And two, when you're trying to learn a new thing, or when you're trying to apply a new skill, compare it to something that you've already done. So we talked about P&Ls or creating a budget for a business. You may have never created a budget for a business before, but you've probably created a budget for yourself, or you've at least been able to spend within your means.
Yeah, or even just comparison shop. If you're great with coupons, you know how to create and manage a budget. If you bought the TV that had the highest quality with the lowest price, you know how to control cost. And you know the cost-benefit ratio. You just haven't called it that yet.
Yeah.
So you have something that can apply to that.
Right.
I was thinking earlier about sign hangers. The folks that put a sign up 100 feet in the air. If you decide that your passion is to be a sign hanger, and man, I have no idea how to do this. Well, listen, there's some skills that are required for that, right? Like using a screwdriver. You probably can do that. Being able to drive a vehicle. Okay, well, there's a cherry picker truck that you have to be able to drive. How about hanging a poster to make sure that it's straight?
Yeah.
Right. Those, of course, they're different. They're a completely different category, but the concepts still carry over. The concepts still apply. And I'm not saying, hey, listen, today I hung a poster on my wall. Tomorrow I can be a sign hanger.
No.
But there's a connection that can be made there.
Well, and one of the biggest connections is you're not starting from square one. Like, you're not starting completely over. Even if you were to start your own business or change career paths, or you're never starting over from square one. You're building from skills that you already have. You just have to connect the dots of what those are. And so after you've figured out how to compare it to something that you've done before, your step number 3 is to supplement your knowledge.
So you've identified that you've acknowledged that you have secret skills, right? And you've started to compare it to something, even if it doesn't seem to make sense.
Right.
Even if it's, religious study and sign hanging. Okay, well, somewhere those connect. There's a thing. There's a place where those connect. And then you recognize at this point, okay, I can't hang a sign because I can hang a poster. Right. So what's the transition?
Yeah.
Right? The question is, how do you get from A to B?
Right.
Right. So there's lots of resources for that.
So many. People.
That's one of the best resources. Ask a friend. Ask a person who does that.
Classes.
Yep. Of course.
The SBDC is a great place to any sort of business skill that you want. They probably have a class on the books for that one. So
pause for a second. Just as a secret reveal, here in about 10 minutes, we're going to be letting you guys know about something that's coming out for part of our design and development next month. We are going to do a big media push on it, but if you're paying attention right now, there may be a class thing that we're going to mention here in about 10 minutes, so pay attention. But
yes, so classes, SBDC, community college, there's a lot of online classes that you can take. I've talked about lynda.com before.
Yeah,
there's also Udemy and a couple others that I can't even remember. Because once you subscribe to one, you pretty much don't subscribe to the others. Yeah, right. You become focused on it. YouTube's one of my favorites. YouTube's his favorite. But there's a lot of business development books that are I don't have time to read it, so I go to the audiobook. I don't have time for the audiobook. In 15 minutes, I can get the summary, and then I'll come back to it when I can. Oh, I love book summaries on YouTube. Yeah, that's true. So podcasts. When you go to supplement your knowledge, one thing that I think is important to remember is that you're supplementing your knowledge from people who are experts in the field, or from people who have done it or know how to do it. Right. Is that when you're starting a business, sometimes you look to your immediate environment or when you're starting a new skill or whatever it is, you look to your immediate environment.
hey, I want to be a carpenter. Amber, can you give me advice on that? Probably not.
I cannot help you become a carpenter.
So
I apologize.
But either of us or me can reach out to other avenues, someone who's already done it. So remember to expand your circle. If you want to, this is a terrible adage, but they say if you want to be around rich people, if you want to be rich, hang around rich people, right? If you want to be good at something, talk to people who are good at it to be able to grow your skill set.
Yeah.
Right, so if you want to learn how to hang signs, watch YouTube videos, watch Linda, ask people who hang signs or who have historically hung signs, because you can learn from their mistakes. And so grow your knowledge. Find a way to get more information from people who have it, because I promise you can start any business from where you are. Any business. You have the foundational skills already, and your supplemental knowledge, you can grow your supplemental knowledge. So start from where you are. There's a thing.
It looks like we might have a comment, so I'm checking that out.
Awesome. So the most important thing, though, so we talked about, go ahead, what did she say?
Bobby's excited about what's coming next, so we'll get
I'm excited about what's coming next, too! So, acknowledge your skills. Recognize that you have secret skills that you probably don't even know you have. Compare it to something you've already done. Mm-hmm. Supplement your knowledge by growing your skill set from other people that are good at it or have been good at it, or videos, or just go learn.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the same step as last week.
Yeah. I think it might be a step that just keeps repeating itself.
I think it might be, right? Do it!
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just try it. Just, the worst thing that can happen is that you fail, and that's not even the worst thing. It's not bad to fail. It gives you a place to start again. So go for it. Try it.
So somebody asked me, we were at a trade show, and somebody asked me, would you rather have a yes or a no when you're dealing with a new client? And I said, I would love to have both. And here's why. I love yeses because they help us grow the part of our family. We start to partner with other people.
Right.
But I love no's because they help refine the process.
Right.
What no's are is something you can make better.
Right.
Some part of your experience that you can improve, you can grow upon. A no is not a rejection, it's a growth.
Right.
No is, hey, you're getting there, but keep working at it. And so when you go to do something and it doesn't go well, don't stop.
Yeah, keep going.
If you go for it and the first time out it doesn't go well, unless you're walking a tightrope. but it's the first time it doesn't go well, that's good. That's really, really good, right. Because it grows your process and it grows your abilities. So,
well, and the more you fail at something, ironically, the more you will discover your dedication to it. Like, do you care enough about it to keep going? Because, nobody likes rejection.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
not my favorite either. Nobody likes to not succeed at something. But when you don't succeed and you do it anyway, well, then you know your level of dedication. So keep going, keep trying. There's more things that you can try.
Another personal experience. So the one thing I've been doing longer than anything else, although there was a big gap at the last part here, the last few years, but the one thing that I've been doing longer than anything else. Yes, not counting riding a motorcycle, I guess. Is playing percussion. I've been playing percussion since I was 16 years old, and that's at least 3 years. So, so I had to wait for the prince.
I don't have any drums here.
I know, right? Speaking of, I was awful at it. I was really, really terrible at it. For the first year, I was really terrible at it. But here's the thing, I didn't stop. Every day I picked up a drum and I went out and I played it every day. And I was terrible. I couldn't hold the rhythm in a bucket. And I just hit the drum. And then the next day I did it again. And 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 after 3 months, I was okay. And after 6 months, I was pretty decent. And after a year of playing every single day, I was good at it. And I had to keep trying, even though I was not doing well. And so all of those failures built a skill set. They weren't failures, but all of those moments built a skill set. And all of the things that you've done in your life historically and all the things that you've been doing are building this subtle skill set that makes you an expert. They're the reason that a 70-year-old man gets to give advice. You know, yeah, sure, I can't out-arm wrestle you, but I bet you $1 that I can tell you how to do it better. You know?
Absolutely.
And so, because their skill set is vast, all the subtle things that they've done are vast. So remember that you could not have gotten to where you are in life without building skills, without learning to do things in a better way or in a specific way. And all of those skills apply to all of the things that you do.
Yeah, and it's just learning to connect the dots. You know, one of the things that always attracts me to another person, like a new friend or whatever, is when they talk about the different things that they've done. And I met somebody recently that had like 4 different past careers, and they were all different, like really different. And I was like, she's the smartest person in the room. Because she's done so many different things, right? And she's learned to connect to those things. And she's starting over again, starting a new business. And I was like, yeah, but I trust you because you know all the other things.
Yeah, because she's been able to compare them and connect
Yeah,
with that.
absolutely. I mean, anybody who's been able to reinvent themselves 4 times has got to be pretty much a genius.
You have to go through that to be able to reflect on the things that were different and the things were the same.
And to build, I mean, you've got to have a huge set of skills.
So, acknowledge your subtle skills, compare it to something you've done, even if it doesn't make any sense. Supplement your knowledge by partnering with experts or finding expertise that's available. I promise it's available. Just Google it. And then go for it.
Yeah.
And all of your secret skills are going to emerge. Your new things are going to explode.
Yeah.
So,
I think if there's like a little sideline, it's have confidence. You know, you're a pretty great human. You've done a lot, and you could totally do whatever it is that you want to do next.
I agree. So, okay.
Join the conversation?
Yeah, join the conversation.
Jeff wants to tell you something.
There's a big reveal.
Dun-dun-dun.
So there's a big reveal. So if you guys are enjoying watching our Small Biz Fridays or working with us in development, or if you've caught us at the Small Business Development Center helping you grow your business and develop your skills, and hopefully you know a little bit about our story and how we got here by watching the Fridays. Well, we made a thing. Our primary goal is to help small businesses succeed. That's what we do. That's our thing, is to get you from startup to success. And it's a conversation that we have all the time. And one of the things that we're able to share is the things that we've done, our soft skills, or our subtle skills, the mistakes we've made, and also how to successfully build your business through marketing, through internal business development. So what we've done is we have created the part of our business development program.
Dun-dun-dun.
Ta-da! And what that means is that within the next, well, here's the deal. By January, you are going to be able to be part of our business development program. You can join the program and move through it, come to free monthly classes as part of the program. You can get access to free online information as part of the program. Once you sign up, you get this whole list of things. You'll also have access to one-on-one counseling and development for your personal business, so we can help you grow your business. But at a minimum, for nothing of what the value is, you get to come sit with us in a room every single month. Every single month, we're going to have the focused topic. It's a 12-month program that starts with business fundamentals and goes all the way through marketing and financial foundations. It goes through everything that you're going to need to be able to make your small business successful. And you don't even have to just watch us on Fridays. Please continue to watch us on Fridays. We're here for you. But you can come sit in the room with us. You can ask your questions. You can get targeted information. And we call it the boardroom. You get to sit in the boardroom. We're limiting the number of people that can be in there so that we can really help your business be successful. So the very first Thursday of every single month, right here in the part of our offices. That's the big thing, is every month you're going to get to join us. But here's the other really, really big thing, is at least through January and almost definitely through February, it's going to be free. So for the next 3 months, we're going to be giving free classes on how to develop your business. And we're going to just start you on a path to success. We're going to help your business succeed by connecting with the people you need to connect with, by knowing the skills you need to learn, connecting those skills with the secret skills that you have. So this is the big reveal. It is going to be published on the interwebs here probably within the next week or 2 weeks.
Make sure you sign up and RSVP for those classes because there will be a limited number of seats in those. The first 3 months will be free, and then it will move on to a paid membership. Yeah,
which is going to be, our goal is always to make it, nothing, close to nothing, enough to be able to rent the space. So our goal is always to help your business be successful. And for small businesses, we know cost is a big part of that. So what we've done is we've created a program that's going to transform the way you do business at effectively a negligible cost. So.
Well, and this came out of conversations about people wanting to have one-on-one coaching, but not necessarily being able to afford the one-on-one coaching. So when we turn it into a group situation, it becomes significantly cheaper.
Yeah, that was her idea. So stay tuned. Make sure that you go to our website and that you sign up for our newsletter. We are going to be sending out the updates to all of those emails. So parivardesign.com, Parivaar. If you're watching us, it's written right there somewhere. Parivardesign.com. Sign up for the newsletter or send us a contact form and we'll get you signed up for it. And we're going to get you your information on how to access the behind-the-scenes stuff that's going to be on the website and come to every single seminar that we hold. Just as for free for 3 months, and then part of the membership after that for close to nothing. So, we're pretty stoked. We want to be able to give you what you need, so come be a part of it. And in the meantime, we still pay attention to your comments, so get out there and capitalize on your secret skills and go rock your business and love what you do. So.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Have an awesome week.